You can blame it on me.
Hey everyone, thanks for waiting. Turns out that the old routine of turning it off and back on again can solve anything. So we're back up. Thanks again for waiting. And I actually have a special guest who's on a voice call with me right now. Emmy, you want to say hi?
Hello, everybody.
So Emmy is joining us from Colossal Order. We had to get someone from Colossal Order for this campus release stream. So tell everyone really quickly what your position is at Colossal Order.
So I work as a producer at Colossal Order.
So you're in charge of making sure everything works correctly, right?
Yeah, basically. Make
Cool.
sure that we deliver everything on time.
Exactly, and we've got a nice quick campaign this time, so we're launching in 4 days.
Yeah, super excited.
Awesome. So yeah, Emmy's going to join me and give us some commentary. For those of you who don't know, Paradox here is in Stockholm, and Colossal Order is in. I call it Tampere, but I'm sure that's wrong. How do you pronounce it correctly?
Tampere.
Okay, I can't even try to pronounce that. These are vowels that don't exist in my English vocabulary. But yeah, she's in Finland, for those of you who are wondering in the chat. So that's where Colossal Order is from. And let's first mention what we're going to be talking about today. So this is going to be our final Dev Diary feature breakdown, and we're talking all about the free update. We've teased it and told you a little bit about it beforehand, but today we'll dig right in. And as is tradition, we're going to start off with that tutorial video by FluxTrance. So let's get rolling on that video.
Hey everyone, my name is FluxTrance, and I'm collaborating with Paradox Interactive to bring you this tutorial series on the new campus expansion for City Skylines. Today, we'll be talking about all the new free content coming alongside the campus expansion. First up, we have libraries. The public library is a new education building found in the Education tab. This building provides a boost to both entertainment and education within its radius. This patch also includes the Academic Library, a new unique building found in the Level 5 Unique Buildings tab. This building boosts entertainment, tourism, and faculty research projects if your city has a campus. Next, we have bus line customization, and this is definitely my favorite addition with the new patch. Now, supported in the base game, bus routes can have vehicles assigned to them. Simply open the public transportation lines overview panel and adjust which vehicles are assigned per line with the model button. Alongside bus line customization, a classic yellow American-style school bus is now available for use. I think this is a nice little touch for making your education-oriented bus lines a little bit more realistic. Another nice touch coming with the free patch is citizen employment details. Now, selecting citizens shows both a place of employment and a job title. The interesting thing about this new feature is integrated custom asset support. With the new patch, job titles are now tied to workplace buildings. This means that when creating new workplace buildings in the asset editor, you now have the option to add job titles that are displayed for all kinds of different citizens. Finally, let's talk about Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 is a new policy found under the City Planning tab. Now, if you're like me, you often didn't find much of a use for industry in later stages of the game. It's easy enough to import resources and employ your citizens under office and commercial zones. Well, with the Industry 4.0 policy, industry can become quite effective in the late game. This policy shifts all industry such that it only hires well and highly educated workers. Now, while educating the majority of your population to this level might feel like a daunting task, the 50% increase in industry production output is certainly enticing. Early game, this policy is definitely a tough sell, but it's common late game to have an abundance of highly educated workers. And if your city is educated and thriving, and you're looking to produce and export lots of goods, this is definitely the policy for you. It is also worth mentioning that education has undergone some pretty major tweaks in the latest patch. Now, previously, any citizen of any age could obtain any level of education. Because of this, as long as education was available, all citizens would eventually reach higher education levels and overeducation would become an issue. I'm sure a lot of you guys who played this game quite a bit probably know what I'm talking about. But now, citizens can only become educated at institutions within their age range. So this prevents citizens who never graduated elementary school or high school from getting a university level education. And as a result, overeducation won't be nearly as prevalent of an issue as it was before. Beyond that, we've covered pretty much everything you need to know about the free update patch coming alongside the new campus expansion for City Skylines. I hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to subscribe here for more tutorials like this one.
And we're back. So guys, what was your favorite new thing in this free update for everybody? For me, it's definitely those school buses. I mean, you guys could have guessed that. I'm American. What about you, Emmy? What's your favorite free update?
I think I like the public library.
Which one, though? The smaller one or the big French-inspired one?
Well, the small one, as it actually functions differently from the academic library.
And you want to explain really quick some of the differences between those two buildings and how the team was inspired to make those?
How we were inspired? I think it's actually, we have sometimes the school kids doing their work experience practice in our company, and there was one kid that pointed out that why there's no libraries in the game. And then we kind of figured that, well, that's an awesome idea. And
yeah, kind of a building that most of us are used to seeing in those education menus.
Yeah. So for the public library, there's a chance that the visitors or the citizens who visit the library, they actually gain an education level.
I wish that is how it worked in real life. If I just visited a library enough, I'd get a degree.
Yeah, if you read very hard. And then the academic library is a new unique building. So it functions similar to other unique buildings, giving more attractiveness to the city.
Yeah, let me show really quick so everyone knows what we're talking about. So we have all the same buildings that were always there, but this is the public library, the one we're talking about. Let me zoom in on that so you guys can see it. Nice, simple, standard building right here. Like all your buildings, you can name it whatever you want. But yeah, the chances are pretty small, so they definitely can't handle your education completely in your town, but it does improve the education a little bit. And that's kind of been one of the main features of this free update is this education change. This, I guess you call it an entire overhaul of the education mechanics, and that it's quite a bit more difficult to educate your population now. And
yes.
Yeah, Emmy, I mean, you've been around for quite a while, so you've seen how this has been a pretty commonly asked request. At what point did you guys decide that this mechanical change needed to happen?
Well, it basically was during the development of campus that we looked into again, like how does the simulation actually function and what we could do about it to improve the problem. And then it was noticed that the education has been rather flexible, that universities have actually educated from elementary to all the way to the university degree. So now we changed it so that every citizen has to go first to the elementary school, then to high school, and then they can go to university.
It's a little more realistic there, right?
Yeah.
And that has a really nice effect of now we don't have to have these situations where your entire workforce gets educated, because it's also age-gated, which makes things really nice as well. Because so just as you were mentioning before, doesn't matter what age you were, you could go to any one of those education buildings. But now you've got these teens or these high schoolers that can only work these jobs that don't require higher education. So you got the teens that can go out and work in the some of the lower education buildings now, get out into the fast food joints, right?
Yeah.
And then we've got these amazing new school buses. I know some of you guys get those kickbacks and you're thinking that, oh, that must be the magic school bus driving around. But those little yellow school buses, do you have those in Finland as well?
No.
No? So how did you do your research then on those yellow buses? Did you have to go out and Google map them or Google some images?
I think this might be from watching American TV shows and movies.
It is rather iconic, those school buses. But those tools work for all buses, correct?
Yeah.
So yeah, that we know that there's been some really popular mods that we've been watching for quite a long time, and we've realized that a lot of players want that customization on their bus lines. So we've made it so now you can just go into that handy dandy tool, and you can go ahead and customize your bus lines. So let me show everyone really quickly what that looks like. So if we get I'm already ruining the city that Leader of the Monkeys made, but if I have a bus depot and then, get some bus lines in here. It's, let's see, I don't think she placed any bus lines, but yeah, let's go in here really quick and make a short little bus loop, which of course if we want it to be in our education reforms, within our campus, then we can actually just make it look like it's picking up students and taking them directly to the campus. Someone in chat was asking if only students can ride them, and we don't have the ability to limit it just to students, but if you, for example, put your bus lines right next to the dormitories and then you put the other bus stops over next to like your campus buildings, it's going to be used mostly by students. So that's the way you'd want to do that. Not budget. Sorry, I need to pay attention when I'm using bus lines. But go to lines overview, then go over to buses, and then I want to select. I guess there were tons of bus lines already. Maddie had already made some of those. But anyways, if I want to pull up one of these bus lines here, I can change the model right up in this section here. So it makes it nice and easy to choose whatever buses you want. And then we have some other changes as well as part of this free update. So Industry 4.0, that's a clever name for a policy.
Yeah.
Who comes up with all these nice names for policies?
I think this has been our designer, Henkka.
Henka comes up with those.
Yeah.
And then I think a lot of people are also laughing at all of the names of the academic works that you guys came up with. Someone's there has a great sense of humor.
We actually had a workshop about it. So it was multiple developers coming up with the names.
That sounds like a day of work that I'd enjoy. We all get together and come up with chirpy-related academic works.
Yeah.
Let me go through really quickly some of the questions that we're getting. I see a lot of friendly faces out there too, so that's nice to see. But does the feature of changing bus models work for custom assets? Yes, you're able to use that for anything that you'll download from Steam Workshop. So that makes it even easier to use. And yes, it is a graphical skin for the buses. It does not force only students to work with them, but like I said, if you position your bus lines between your dorms and your universities, it's going to function essentially like it was only for students. And then Yeah, I think we'll get over just some of the basic questions as well, because I know we've always got some console players out there, but right now Industries is being worked on for console players, and after that we will look into the option of bringing Campus to Xbox One and PS4, but that one has not been announced yet. So, here's another good question we have here as well. People are asking if this model selection is only for bus lines. And it is. Emmy, do you have any insights? Because I know, obviously, bus lines make sense for a campus expansion, but have you guys also given thought to making this available for some other transportation types?
Yeah, I think it's a possibility that in the future that could be something we look into. Because,
especially if it's popular.
Yeah, now it makes sense. Made most sense because we had the new bus model, so that people could choose them to different lines. For other vehicles, there's no other models, but of course there's also the workshop material. So
yeah.
If you hope for it, it could be something we update.
Definitely something we keep an eye on, and you guys are always really good at keeping an eye on community suggestions and what's popular. It makes my job a lot easier as a community developer when you guys are like, oh yeah, we saw that, we already read that.
Yeah.
And you do a little bit of community stuff as well, don't you?
Yeah, so I'm basically also the person at Colossal Order who handles the community management side. Of course, Jonathan is mainly doing it at the Paradox, but then I do almost daily follow up what's going on at the forums and also the subreddit City Skylines.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are always wondering, well, what happens to my suggestions when I put suggestions out on those forums? And I always tell them that, well, I'm reading them, and you've also got Colossal Order going in those as well. So Emmy's the person that you want to become friends with, everybody. Everyone in the chat should get that now, that Emmy's the one that you can send suggestions over to, because she does a great job.
Yeah, you probably noticed if you read the Paradox forums that it's usually the CEO Emmy answering the questions.
And yeah, you also work with a lot of our modders as well, and modders and asset creators.
Yes, at the modding beta.
And you're also, I'm going to keep bragging about you, but you're also the one writing up those dev diaries too. Although I'm sure you get some insight from other people as well, right?
Yeah, though actually this time for the campus dev diaries, they are actually written by our designer Henkka.
Ah.
But I have sometimes written a couple.
Henka's been around for quite a while as well. Does anyone here in the chat remember Henka from when we launched years ago? Or if you met him at PDXCon? I know a lot of people loved meeting and talking with him at PDXCon, especially some of the asset creators. We had Sven Berlin and Ami Polizei Funk and Mr. Mason were all at PDXCon, and they loved talking with Henka about the different art styles of the game.
Yeah, he has also been an artist for City Skylines. So.
And how long have you been with Colossal Order?
I've been working at Colossal Order, I think 7 years, maybe.
Wow. And that's 7 out of how many years? How many years has Colossal Order been going now?
So Colossal Order is turning 10 years this summer.
10 years, so you're gonna have a big party, right?
Yeah.
And that's actually going to be really exciting as well. We're at 4 years for City Skylines, 10 years for Colossal Order, and that means that you worked probably a lot on Cities in Motion 1 and 2, correct?
Yeah.
Do we have any Cities in Motion fans out in the chat today? See if we get some people here. Everyone's saying congratulations to you, though. So. Come on, there's got to be some Cities in Motion fans out there. There we go. We see them. Cool. And then, feel free to pitch any questions that you have as well for Emmy or myself. But if you have any of the... Actually, we could go over some of the more basics, and just in case you're joining us now. But Campus is our newest expansion, and it is actually launching May 21st. So we've just got less than 4 days to go now. So that's not long at all. And then we've also got the price point is set at $12.99 or 12.99 euros. And then we've also got that King Lino's content creator pack called University City. And that is releasing same time for $5.99 or 5.99 euros. And it has over 60 buildings that are kind of university themed. So that one's a really cool pack. Have you gotten to see that one already, Emmy?
A little bit. It looks amazing.
Yeah, he does a great job. I don't know if you surf the Steam workshop very often, but he's got hundreds of these incredible buildings, so working with him was kind of a natural choice. But do you have any favorite creators yourself?
There's so many, but I'm a little bit of a nature person, so I like the Mr. Mason trees. They are so cool.
Yeah, he's a very popular creator. I don't know if you've ever seen Delmo's stuff, but he's kind of the other half of the coin, but he makes a ton of really good trees and bushes and flowers as well.
Yeah, I've actually seen those too, yeah.
Everyone's making fun of me now because we're still having some of those tech troubles. Yeah, that's why I had to shut down the game for a second. But as soon as I get it loaded up again, I'm going to show off some more of these. And we're up now, actually. So everyone's wondering why our green screen isn't working too well. But here we go. Now that we're back to the game, I wanted to show everyone I showed you guys the public library as well, but let me show you now some of the other buildings that we have. Let's go over to where is it? Oh, that's not the right one. It's now my memory's going blank for a second. Where are we at? I'm trying to find that other library building. I'm trying to remember which menu it's in now.
Is it under unique buildings?
It is in the university. That's what I was thinking, but now I'm trying to find it. Let's try going to the big buildings. No, because this one's, it's part of the free update, so it's not in the campus buildings, but did I not unlock it? It's here somewhere. I know I can find it. I was thinking it might be in the monuments, though. That's why I couldn't find it, because it's not unlocked yet. So you have to build 5 public libraries. Let me do that really quick, because I want to show you guys this model. It's one of my favorite models, actually. So let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. There we go. All right, sorry, you guys gotta... Nope, 300 library users. Okay, you gotta unlock that one first. We'll start playing for a little bit, and we're gonna get to it. But I'll show you guys by the end of this stream here. But our menu's getting pretty big. We've got so many buildings, so many options, things you can build. We've got so many expansions we've come out for this game that even I can get lost in these menus, and I just have to look around every once in a while. But now you guys know, the academic library is here in level 5 unique buildings. The public library is just in your generic buildings here in education here. So I'm going to have to place some of these closer to more people so I can get more users, because I really want to show you that building. And then let's also show off that Industry 4.0 policy. We're back into it. We got to get caught up on everything. So Industry 4.0, that is right down here, down at the bottom. But this one is for those of you who are building industrial cities or cities that are based on, let's say, farming or maybe timber production or any of these industries that you wanted to set up. And this allows you to, it actually allows you to let your educated citizens still manage that industry. So it uses a lot of high tech. I think you guys described it in the dev diary as having robots come in and automate a lot of the industry.
Yeah.
So then with that, you're able to essentially avoid those industry collapses that we know a lot of you guys were mentioning in comments. And that you wanted to build these industrial towns, but your citizens got too smart for it. And that led to economic collapse. But how about yourself, Emmy? When you're building cities, do you go more for an industrial city, or are you doing a highly educated city? What's your style of building?
I usually go for the offices and high density.
The big downtown areas.
High land value, green energy.
The utopias.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I'm kind of the same way. I try to build the coolest looking things.
Though with industries, I did like to play around with the forestry.
For me, I like doing the farms myself, but oh no, we're out of money. I went too fast. We need more money. I can fix this really quick. I'm not quite sure what happened, but from the moment that me and Leader of the Monkeys left our stream last night, this city has had issues ever since then. Let's actually just use some of these policies. Get some small business, big business enthusiasts, and some taxation.
You need to get a stadium to produce a lot of money.
Yeah, let's get one of those out there. So I'm going to go over here to the varsity sports. Oh, but I don't have the money to build one. Let's see if I can get that positive net. We're going to go positive in just a second here. We ran out of money, everybody. Where's Leader of the Monkeys when I need her? But
We could also take a look at the fire behavior update.
all right. So if we want to do that, we can just go into our options, go to gameplay, and it's right here, this option right here called disable fire spreading, which can actually lead to some funny mechanics. For example, if I want to start a disaster, that essentially is going to stop that fire from spreading around. And we want to explain really quick, Emmy, why someone might want to toggle on that option.
Yeah, so basically we noticed that some players had a little bit of disasters with park life, and then that could be possible with campus buildings also, which are placed on the paths, that they burn down badly
Yeah.
if the fire gets out of hand. So for the players who want to avoid that, now if you disable the random disasters, the park life and campus path buildings won't burn at all.
Everything
And-
won't erupt into flames.
Yeah, and then also for the forest fires, if you disable the fire spreading, then those won't happen.
Yeah, so if I go and trigger a forest fire now, the typical behavior is that it can easily get out of control, but which we understand lots of you guys want to do that and you want to burn down the whole forest. But for those of you who are more interested in building rather than letting those fires run rampant in your city, this one here still allows fires to happen, so you're not toggling off that cool feature, but it's not going to destroy your whole city. And see, as we can sit here and watch, we basically got a nice isolated fire that's not going to go spreading anywhere. And we can do the same thing if we want to test that. So this one's a nice little fix that we do. Like this obviously isn't the main appeal of this free update, but every little bit counts, right?
Yeah, and I think it's now makes the life a bit easier for the players who want to play with natural disasters on some map, but then they want to start another city where they don't want things to burn or get destroyed.
Yeah, because that's always been kind of the philosophy, is that we make the tools and let everybody, all the players, build whatever they want or play however they want. So this free update has a lot of great features to it, and these education reforms especially is going to make it so those of you who like building small towns or farming villages or just heavy industrial areas, you're really going to be able to see those effects, especially those industries fans out there. So that was it's been one of the most popular expansions. Do you have a favorite expansion yourself, Emmy?
I don't know. I think we have done really good job lately with park life and industries, and but maybe I think I like industries the best also.
Industries is definitely a cool one. And then I don't know. I think for me, I think it's still Snowfall. Not necessarily for the snow maps, but just because I like the trams. Everyone likes trams, right? And let's see here. Did we cover everything in that free update? I'm going through the list in my head right now. We covered those school buses, which we should actually be able to see some going through town.
Now I know what we haven't gone through. The citizen employment details.
All right. How could I have forgotten that? Let's find out where everyone is working and what they're doing. Here's an exchange student who's basically like an extra tourist type. We've got an educated teen that... Nope, we need to find someone with a working job. Here we go. Unemployed. Oh my goodness, can you believe my luck right now? Here we go. University students. We've got everyone here's a university student. Is nobody working in this town? Here we go. I knew we could get there. I was starting to get embarrassed for a second because everyone was unemployed. Specialist at, let's go and find, at Solutions Inc. And we can find this person here who's also unemployed. Stop it, people. Stop being unemployed. Where's more people? Picking up dead person from the police station. Aren't we just having the best of luck today on stream? Expert at Microndo Game Studio. There we go. So these little titles actually just add a little element to the game where you can actually follow around your citizens and see exactly what their job title is. And this is all moddable too, right?
Yeah, so the job titles are tied to buildings. So that in Asset Editor, when you put a building there or modify it, you can now also modify job titles for people who work there.
So I'm sure we're going to see a lot of fun with that as well too. I'm pretty sure our asset creators and modders are going to have a fun time coming up with some new titles for all of the buildings that they make. So all of that can be done right within those modding tools that Colossal Order has made. There we go. That was, I believe, the last major feature part of the free update. We also have a lot of bug fixes and little minor, fixes that we do as well, and all of that's free too. So those patch notes will be sure to be releasing, let you guys know all of those extra bug fixes we've done for you. Let's see if I have any other good questions coming in as well. Yeah, guys, half my citizens are unemployed, but I think it's because they're all going to school and we gave them free education. Did we actually turn on that policy? Let me go find my... Let's check. That's probably why we started losing all of our money, is because we're giving them free education. We should be earning money off of this. Increase those ticket prices. Oh, look, this is why. This is terrible university management going on here. We had maximum academic staff. We need sponsorship deals, advertisement campaigns. And okay, we actually don't have universal education here. But that's why we were going into debt, everybody. So these, if you look here at the expenses here from our Build Here University, we can see that this is actually draining quite a lot of money from us. Mostly those academic staff costs. You ever find yourself doing that, Emmy, where all of a sudden you're just losing money and you're about to go bankrupt?
Yeah, sometimes. I think that's the part that I love, the industries DLC, that I managed to make a very profitable system there, and then I could lose money everywhere else in the city. And that's what I'm gonna use that city for my campus area also, that I can have the free education and put as much money as the city can.
Your industry will fund the education, so that way they're too educated then to work in industry. Sounds like a great cycle. So I finally did it. I told you guys I would get around to building this, but our Monument Level 5 is our new, this is a free building that comes out in this update. Our academic library that has multiple problems. But look at this building here. Is this not some amazing style? Do you want to tell us really quick, for those who haven't read the dev diary, like where did the inspiration for this one come from?
So it has been influenced by the French neoclassicism with Gothic and Renaissance elements.
Anyone from France that can confirm that? Where's Jeze when we need him? He's one of our popular asset creators that makes a ton of Parisian buildings.
But I think for the all the academic buildings also, players might be able to notice which universities in the world have been the inspiration for the building models.
Yeah. Since we've got 3 different kinds of universities, each of them has their own unique style. So it's nice to see the variety that we have there. But this one here will very well fit into any European city. And then let's see here if I can find any of our school buses. Actually, let's just go to some of our bus lines. We need to change all of these to bus lines. So we're just gonna have bus lines all over the city. Here we are. Here's our little school bus driving around. And then if I want, I can change it right back into a, I can make it randomized. This is actually the default feature. Right now, if I were to build, actually, some people already noticed this when we put up the post on social media, but if I want to, then I can actually get a biofuel bus depot. It's like such. And this will give us a new type of bus that we can use, the biofuel bus. So we have that customization as well. So yeah, we got our free school buses that we can drive around town, pick up our students, drop them off at the new campus that we've built in town. We've got these education changes, free for everyone. Anything else that we forgot to show off on stream today?
I don't think so.
What about you guys in chat? Anything else that you want to take a look at? Although if you want, the embargo for campus has just ended, so all of your favorite YouTubers and Twitch streamers can go out and play on their own. So you're going to see lots of videos up already from all of your favorites. But this will be the last stream that we do from our office until release day. So anything else you guys want to see from us or ask us before you get to see the whole game in action from your favorite YouTubers and Twitch streamers? No pre-orders, just releasing on the 21st. So yeah, we'll how about this? We'll take your money when the game's out. Then you can buy it. How to exchange students. I'm guessing you're asking how to get exchange students. Well, there's a few different policies that you can do at your university. And also, as you build up the prestige or reputation of your university, you're going to attract more students. So let me show you the info panel for tourism. We can see here that right now we've got a nice 12% exchange student bonus. So we have decent attractiveness here. So that means we're getting a pretty good chunk of exchange students. If you guys remember just a moment ago when I was looking for citizens, you could actually see some of these citizens here. It says if they're an exchange student or not. See, these are all university students, but there's got to be some exchange students in here somewhere. I might not find one. But they're there. There we go. There's an exchange student. So yeah, these are basically like a subcategory of tourists that will come specifically for your university. Any change in statistics? All of the kind of statistic changes are going to have to do with your education. So if we go to our info panel, go to education here, this is now a lot more accurate and it better describes, your population. Because as we mentioned, this free update now makes it so essentially everyone is age gated and the building type will only educate that degree. So you have to go to an elementary first, you have to go to a high school next, and then a university. So it's a little more bottlenecked, which makes it a little more difficult to control. This city here, because we've been playing on it 5 days in a row, is very educated now. So that's actually probably why this city is having so much trouble, is because everyone's educated right now. 99%. So that's why all of our campuses are losing student numbers, is because we haven't really been zoning a lot of extra residential to keep up with that campus demand. Let's see, what other questions? We have some questions, as usual, asking about traffic. And we have to give the same answer that we've been giving for 4 years, and that we can't make any major changes to traffic or intersections because that would make the game unplayable for many of our player base. As much as we wish it were possible, Colossal Order has done a ton of work and research, and Emmy, you can certainly vouch for that, and it just wouldn't work for Cities Skylines. So we had to come up with a good compromise, something that's fun and works, even though we do realize that it's not a perfect system. So King Lino's tutorial for his university city, good question. Let's actually pull up the schedule and we'll give you guys a brief rundown on what's coming up next. So tomorrow we have a tutorial on how to build a realistic university by Prez. Sunday we have a time-lapse video by Imperial Jedi. And then on Monday is when King Lino has a video coming out. I was actually just helping him finish that up today. And he'll be showing you guys all about his content creator pack, which is called University City. And then all of a sudden we're to Tuesday on release day. So not much longer to go here, everybody. Hope you're all just as excited as we are. And yeah, with that, I think we're good for the evening. Emmy, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Great. And a few last questions for you before we end the stream. But I think everyone here is wondering what you guys are going to be doing to celebrate.
So we will eat cake.
There's always cake at Colossal Order, right?
Yes, we have ordered cake for Tuesday.
And what kind of cake are we looking at? Can you describe it to us, or should we make it a surprise?
Well, we usually keep it as a surprise for the dev team.
A surprise. And okay, we won't spoil that. But you'll send me a picture, right? So I can post that up on social media?
Yes.
Perfect. So we'll be taking bets, everybody. If you can guess what kind of cake it is, then we'll give you some points on social media. So thanks again for joining us for the evening. We'll let you go for the night. So thanks again, everyone who came in to watch us for our streams we've been doing. And we will see you again on release day. So goodbye, everyone.